Welcome back, fellow jazz bums. We have some exciting news today. Craft Recordings announced that they are putting out a box set containing all of the recordings that have been released from Sonny Rollins. So this is going to include 3 LPs. There's 2 official releases and then another release from '86 that contains some alternate takes from those 2 releases. So we're going to get into it and take a look at all 3 records and the box itself. Before we do, remember to like and subscribe. And please leave your comments. Let us know if you are going to pick this up. And with that, we're going to get into it. So I pulled up the Craft Recording webpage, and this is just the announcement. They sent it out via email. I think there was a tweet, and they did kind of tease 1 track on the alternate takes on their YouTube page for us to hear. So as you can see, this is a box set. This looks very similar to the Ornette Coleman 2 LP box set. The material of the box is similar. It's like a canvas. It comes with a small booklet that will be inserted into the CD version as well as the LP version. And this one comes with 3 LPs. So this is Go West. It has Way Out West in stereo, the Sonny Rollins and the Contemporary Leaders in stereo, and then the Contemporary alternate takes, as mentioned. So they're asking for $125 for the 3 LPs and booklet, and it is currently up for pre-order and expected to ship at the end of June this year. So what do we think about this, guys?
I'm super excited about this. I've got the 2 records on just like OJCs, which sound fine, but I'll probably be picking this up. I didn't realize that it was similar to the Ornette Coleman. That's pretty cool, man. Like if they do one of these every year, that'd be really exciting.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Coleman was great. These records are great. Do we know where it's pressed or the mastering or anything?
I think they say, let's see. So
Bernie Grunman.
it features remastered audio by Bernie Grunman from the original analog tapes, 180 gram 3 LP pressed at RTI. So yeah.
If you don't get a bunch of warps in it, then maybe send it back.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It seems it's a premium product. I mean, RTI, Bernie Grunman, it's a premium package. But I don't have the Ornette box for obvious reasons. I'm still on the fence about this one, right? I have those 2 records as Chris, but mine are originals, not OJCs. I'm truly excited about this. The studio leftovers, the outtakes, the book. I think Ashley Kahn is an amazing writer. The interview is recent, and Sonny Rollins is quite a character. I think it's a great package. I might get the CDs because I want the book and the extras. I'm not sure if I want the vinyl, but I might eventually get it. It's great, and everybody's been waiting for this release. Should just jump on it easy.
Yeah, that raises a good point. We have been anticipating that Analog Productions in partnership with Craft is releasing contemporary single LP sets. So we have seen some deviation. Obviously, we mentioned the Ornette box, which had Ornette's 2 contemporary records. We have this, which will have Sonny Rollins 2 plus the all takes. They do have different catalog numbers when they're released from Craft Recording, as opposed to when they reissued them with Acoustic Sounds and Analog Productions and QRP.
I would probably just rather have that because it would be $10 cheaper. I mean, like.
Yeah,
records are like $30 when they're pressed there, and this is like $40 a record. I don't know. It's interesting.
What's the point? And where's the Art Pepper? Should have been released like 6 months ago, right?
Of course, yeah. I mean, if one was in mono and one was in stereo, that would be cool. Like if the one from Analog Productions was mono, that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, it's 57. I think it should favor the mono. I don't know. Mine is mono. Wicked.
Yeah.
Well, they may not release it now. I mean, like those 2 Ornette titles, I wouldn't think are going to make the contemporary reissue series.
No, that's true. That's a good point.
Right.
Yeah. Both these versions will be amazing either way.
Yeah.
You should get the Ornette box though, Felipe. It's really good. The contemporary one's better than the Blue Note one.
Yeah, it's a little bit more accessible than his Blue Note stuff. I think it's his first 2 lead records.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm totally out of the Blue Notes for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure.
All right, so let's get into the records themselves.
Okay.
We'll do a quick overview. So the first one, this is Way Out West. This was his first contemporary release. This was recorded in March '57, released the same year. This is a quartet or a trio. So Sonny Rollins on tenor, Ray Brown on bass, and Shelly Manne drums.
Yeah.
Wow.
So no piano. And yeah, so they do I'm an Old Cowhand. This is, I think, one of the more famous Sonny Rollins tunes. Solitude, Come Gone, Wagon Wheels, There Is No Greater Love, and Way Out West. So Western themed album.
Yeah, that's great.
So Way Out West, of course, has his name because it's his first session in the West Coast in California. So it was the first time he recorded there. He picked the photographer because he really wanted a shot like that.
Yep.
Let's see that, Felipe.
Sorry?
Can we see
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
It's an amazing one. That's an original. That's the first pressing.
Nice.
I mean, those contemporaries, they sound really solid. I mean, Mike, I think you have the Hampton Hallways, Chris. I mean, they sound amazing. That stuff is good. And so again, this was his first one on the West Coast, and it's a trio. He was having issue finding a good pianist or guitar player to play chords with him, so he kind of came with the style. He decided to go soloing, not chords, just soloing over bass and drums, and I think it worked beautifully. It's a very powerful record. I think it's my Sonny Rollins' favorite record.
That's a great one, man. I love that record. When you look at the lineup, like it's just crazy. Those three guys.
Yeah. It's Sonny Rollins, Ray Brown, Shelly Manne.
Yeah, Shelly Manne's an amazing drummer. Ray Brown's one of the best bass players of all time. It's really cool.
Yeah, I think everyone that signed a contract to play for contemporary, they had to put Shelly Manne on the record.
It seems like it.
So I think the mastering engineer was Roy Dunan, and his stuff on contemporary is really excellent sounding.
Outstanding, yes.
It's neat too because Bernie learned from him.
Yeah,
that's right.
Bernie
Yeah,
was around back then, when some of those records were mastered or after them.
Yeah.
So it's just really neat.
Absolutely. Just as a curiosity, so after he left Prestige, he played sessions for most Blue Note, Contemporary, and Riverside. So right after he left Prestige, that was his first recording,
Mm-hmm.
the Freedom Suite, and then came Sonny Rollins Volume 1 on Blue Note.
Mm-hmm.
Chronologically, not recording necessarily, but that's chronologically how they came out, and then Way Out West.
Nice.
If you don't have a good pressing, get this one because it's probably outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, real quick, the good thing about these is they're going to be a great copy, right? Like, if you buy these, you don't have anything that's nice of these records. You don't have these records at all. You don't ever have to buy another copy, right? Like, it's like a Tone Poet. It's pressed at RTI. It's AAA. Maybe Bernie.
Yep.
Yeah. What else, right?
For me, I'm past rebuying those kind of records. I know Mike is.
Yeah.
Like if a UHQR of this record come out, would you buy it, Mike, if you had this?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. I do want to mention this. So according to Lester Koenig in the liner notes, the recording for this session began at 3 a.m. to fit the musicians' busy schedules. Yeah. But at 7 a.m., after a few hours of intense concentration, during which they recorded half the album and should have been exhausted, Sonny said, "I'm hot now." Shelly, who had been up for 24 hours, said, "Man, I feel like playing." And Ray, who was equally tired and had a studio call for the afternoon, just smiled. So this was like, a pretty interesting session, late into the night session. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so it sounds like Olio, right? When they're recording Bag's Groove. So Miles just, Sonny, we need another song. He went to the bathroom for like 5 minutes and came back with Olio.
Wow.
Yeah, that is amazing. I do want to point out, from what we can see from the pictures, these contemporary labels, these are the original stereo labels. Yeah, now this third one here, this was released in '86, so it wouldn't have had this black stereo label. Is it black or is it like dark green? I can't remember. It is black. Okay. So it is kind of cool that they stayed true to the stereo label, because I think yellow was reserved originally for mono, and then they all became yellow, I think, a little later.
Yeah.
That
So
is some deep jazz knowledge there.
just throwing that out there. Appreciate that. And then, all right, let's move on to the contemporary leader session. So obviously this is on the label contemporary. This is referring to contemporary leaders, in that these are like the main guys, the session players on contemporary. So this was recorded over a year later in October 58, released in August 59. And this one has Rollins on tenor, Hampton Hawes piano, Barney Kessel guitar, Leroy Vinegar bass, Shelly Mann drums, and Victor Feldman vibes.
It's a very different,
Yeah, very different.
If you look at that lineup, though, it's just crazy. Like, those are the best players on the West Coast at the time, pretty much.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Leroy Vinegar on bass, man?
Yeah. Oh man, Leroy's amazing.
Hampton Hawes.
Yep.
Yeah, Hampton Hawes. Yeah, you see, he found his piano player.
So Shelly's on both of them. I didn't realize that. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know,
so Shelly doesn't play on track 3 and track 8, which is interesting.
It was interesting.
What are those? So How High the Moon and In the Chapel in the Moonlight. All right, so what do we think about this record?
It's a great record, Mike. That's my copy.
Okay, let me make you big.
Yeah. It's a nice copy. It's an original. It's mono as well, so it's not a stereo.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It sounds
I think
amazing.
mine might be a mono as well. If it is, I'm going to keep it and get the stereo one.
Yeah. So just as curiosity, between Way Out West and this one, he released Volume 2 on Blue Note.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, you still see he's like struggling with the piano players. There's Monk here.
Well, you know, that's probably a badass record. Thelonious Monk loves Sonny
Oh
Rollins.
yeah, it's really good. Then Nuke's Time, which is my favorite Monk on Blue Note. I mean Rollins on Blue Note.
Yeah.
Then he had a Riverside.
Yeah, I've got that one. It's okay.
Good. Oh yeah, Sound of Sonny. Then he have his last Blue Note, the live, Village Vanguard. And then he finally came with this one. And this was his last session before retiring, going under the bridge.
Yeah, so Felipe, do you want to speak about that decision by Sonny?
Yeah, it's interesting. According to Miles, Miles talks about many things on his book about Sonny Rollins. He really likes Sonny Rollins, about those Sugar Hill guys. Sugar Hill, go figure now, right? He explains where the nickname Nuke came from. Came from a baseball player, I think from the Mets, if I'm not mistaken. Another baseball guy. Sorry.
Okay.
And then so during early first quintet, he would change. Sometimes Hank Mobley, sometimes Jack McLean. Cannonball Arday. And then Coltrane was starting in getting to the sessions. He came back and forth many times with drug addiction, other issues. And then Sonny Rollins would occasionally play with Miles, early 50s and late 50s. And according to Miles, during some of the early sessions for Kind of Blue, not the Kind of Blue sessions, but before that.
This is an early Prestige with Sonny Rollins and Miles.
Yeah, he saw Coltrane. Okay, I got to stop and rethink my playing. So he went. The legend says he went under the bridge and kept practice for 3 years before he came back to the bridge.
Mm-hmm. That's wild.
Stockholm session before the bridge, but his last U.S. session was his contemporary with this before coming back to the bridge, which is a phenomenal album. I highly recommend it.
The Bridge, yeah, that's a great one.
Have you listened to
it? I just listened to it once. I picked it up this past weekend. I found a sealed Classic Records version for $15 in bins. So I snagged that and yeah, it sounds great. So I've listened to it once so far, and it's I feel like side one, to me, I have to listen to it again, but side one sounded more like traditional, like before his hiatus, Sonny Rollins. Mm-hmm. And to me, side two really feels a lot like he's pushing the edges. So I was thinking like perhaps like the bridge is also like a metaphor for the album, where you have like side one and side two, and then it's bridging kind of like where his his artistry is moving. So I need to listen to it again though. But yeah, I really did enjoy it. It was good.
It's really
Nice.
good.
All right, let's keep moving. So there is a third record, and that is going to be the Sonny Rollins alternate takes. So this is the cover here. This was originally released in the U.S. in 1986. Essentially, what this is alternate takes from both sessions. So the first three tracks, which make up side one and the first track of side two, come from Way Out West. So you have alt takes of I'm a Old Cowhand, Come Gone, and Way Out West. And then the last three tracks, the final three tracks on side B, are three tracks from the Contemporary Leader session. So this came out in '86. I have not listened to this, but I have read some of the reviews of it, and it got very high, very high reviews, saying that these alternate sessions really kind of are in the same kind of wheelhouse as the original takes that were used on the albums.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah. Well, that makes sense, and I'm really looking forward to it. Really.
Now, have y'all listened to the outtakes from Blue Train that came out with Tone Poet? Have y'all listened to that?
Yes.
I didn't. I only picked up the mono Blue Train.
Okay. I picked up the story, but I haven't listened to the second record yet.
He has some interesting pieces about how the songs came out to be. It's not like, oh my gosh, you gotta have this, but it's interesting. It's
cool.
Yeah.
Actually, I did listen. I did stream one of the alternate takes of Blue Train, and it was so different, very different than what was the one that was on the record. Again, this is recorded by Roy Dunan, so I think all three of them are.
Yeah.
So they're going to sound great. Bernie Grundman remastering them. So those are the three records. Any thoughts on this alternate take session?
I mean, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I want the nice copies of the other two records more than I want it, though.
Yeah. I wish I could read the interview book before buying that to understand better the alternate sessions. Right.
All right, guys. So, are you going to pre-order this?
No, I'll just buy it when it comes out, probably, if I decide to get it. Which I think about 75% sure I'll get it.
I'm kind of on the fence, but I might end up getting it.
Well, all your copies are mono, so this would be you would be able to kind of get the stereo experience here.
In that regard, I have the Art Pepper mono that came out on Record Store Day, and I have a Art Pepper stereo, Japanese pressing, beautiful, and they sound very different. It's a very different record.
I already put my pre-order in for this.
Nice.
Right after I kind of saw the announcement, I did a little bit of investigating. We spoke about it, and yeah, I just put my pre-order in, so I'm definitely going to get a copy.
I mean, it's going to be solid if it's as good as the box. That thing was sweet.
Yeah,
It wasn't horrible, right? I mean, they're $40 a record, but
the notes that came with it were really good too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so let us know what you think about this announcement. Are you going to pre-order it? And yeah, leave comments. Remember to like and subscribe.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for
Thanks,
watching.
everyone.
Thank you.